I'm Ella Slack, and I used to work at the BBC, and for over 30 years I was a rehearsal stand-in for Her Majesty the Queen. So I'm very sad at what's been happening, yeah.
Ella, just take us back. How did this first come about?
Well, I was manager of royal events at the BBC, and the Queen had said that the sun was in her eyes at the cenotaph ceremony. So we wanted extra rehearsal time to sort out the camera positions, and all my stage managers were 6-foot men. So I said, would you like me to go and stand there? Because I'm the same height or similar height to the Queen. So I went and did that, and of course that led on to all sorts of different events that I did over the years. I went to the Albert Hall, Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, practicing lighting the flames for the beacons, and the Mall and the Millennium and the Thames for the barges, and so lots of things over the years, yeah.
And it's an important definition, isn't it? You were a stand-in, not a look-alike.
That's absolutely right, yeah.
Did you meet her?
No, very near, lots of times, but never actually met her, no. And of course, today has meant a lot to me. I was on the Isle of Man in 1955 when the Queen came, and in 1979 the BBC televised the event when the Queen was here, and my uncle was the Deemster, and he read the laws in Manx. So, and I was also here when she came the last visit as well. So it's been something that we were all standing by all the years I was at the BBC, what to do when the Queen did die. And in fact, all that I did in the end was the funeral of Princess Diana. And so I've been thinking of my colleagues at the BBC and all the other television stations, because I think they've all been covering everything very well. And I'll be watching the funeral on Monday. Yeah.
It must be such a poignant time for you, Ella. Have you got any idea of how many times roughly you stood in for her?
Well, certainly about 50 times, you know, definitely always at the Albert Hall and the Cenotaph. But of course they have lady stage managers now, so they could do it. And I'm certainly not the same height as Camilla.
The procession has now fully entered.
And were there any rules that you had to adhere to? Were there any places that you weren't allowed to go or sit, for example?
Well, the one thing that everybody sort of knows, that I wasn't allowed to sit on the throne in the House of Lords. So you had to lurk above it. That was a very strict ruling. But otherwise, no, I just used to try and wear similar clothes that she wore, and try, and particularly because a lot of people are very tall these days, try and walk at the pace that the Queen would have walked, yeah.
But you weren't paid for this, were you?
No, it was my pleasure to do it, yeah.
Oh, well, just finally, I mean, it has been an incredibly emotional week, and I'm guessing very poignant for you.
Oh, definitely. And I was actually driving over the mountain to go to a screening at Ballacameen School when I heard she died. I turned my car around, went back home, turned the television on, and I've watched an awful lot of the coverage. And I'll never forget all the memories I have, and I've been very proud to be able to help for the broadcast for Her Majesty the Queen.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.